Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk about a stamina Dragonknight PvP build, which is focused on ultimate regeneration and is very tanky, so you're really hard to kill. This is nothing new, this has been around for a while already. I also will have a written guide on my website, and make sure to not forget to subscribe. I will upload more build videos for all the classes, both PvE and PvP in the future. Now just to quickly check our stats when we are fully buffed. We have really nice stamina recovery, a lot of resources, and our spell resistance is really high. We will even have more when Bloodspawn procs. I'm using the Serpent Mundus Stone. You want to be a vampire, because vampire is really strong. You also get more damage mitigation the less health you have, and you get a little bit more magic and stamina recovery. That's why we are a vampire. In terms of race, so you can choose Argonian, Imperial, Redguard, Kashyyyk. However, I do think actually Argonian or a Redguard suits this best. Here on Argonian you get more healing done, this is really nice. You get more max health a lot. And when you drink a potion you restore 4.6k health, magic and stamina. So just to quickly show you, when I'm at around 50%, those things, and I pop a potion, you see it almost goes back to 100%. It's insane, this passive. Sure, like I get this effect and the potion effect in addition. So it really helps with sustain both for magic and stamina. Dragonknights, as you all know, they also have other ways, like when you activate the ultimate. Because we have an ulti regen build, we basically can use this a lot. Mine is not morphed yet, we'll get into that in a second. So Battle Roar, this costs 100 ultimates, so I get like 100 times 54, like 5400 magic stamina and health every time I activate this. I will get into that later. And then we also have Helping Hands, which restores stamina every time you use Igneous Shield, and we get more like free ultimate every 6 seconds when we use this ability. That's really nice. In terms of gear, so this is a pretty standard setup. Bloodspawn, always nice on a Dragonknight. You get more resistance, you get more ultimate regen, and you get stamina recovery. It will proc on cooldown, because if 5, 6, 7 dudes try to kill you, it's just proccing really fast. You will see later when I show you the gameplay. 7th Legion, probably one of the strongest heavy armor sets at the moment. Gives you a lot of weapon damage and insane healing. The healing doesn't really have a cooldown, so yeah. Then we have Werewolf Hide. Now you want to make sure to use Werewolf Hide jewelry, because they come in robust. 7th Legion is a heavy armor set, they will only have healthy jewelry, so you want to make sure to have those here. All weapon damage. You see, when you take damage you generate 5 ultimate. It has a 5-second cooldown. We only have this on the front bar active. On the back bar we only have 4 piece. Now, what kind of trait do you want to use? You can use Sharp and infuse Nernhound. You even can use Charged if you want to apply more status effects. Doesn't really matter that much. Just make sure you have a poison damage enchant there. The shield, you can run infused, impen, sturdy. It's up to you. Back bar, I run sharpened. Basically, if you want more penetration, you can run sharpened. If you want more increased healing and all that kind of stuff, you could run Nernhound. Nernhound also does more damage on shields and gives you more heals. That's just something to consider. Sharpened is just overall more penetration. With Oblivion enchant. If you have Maelstrom, Master Weapon, use it. Next patch, we're definitely gonna use the Asylum two-hander, because you will get even more ultimate regeneration, which is completely insane. But yeah, that later. I recommend having at least 5 pieces sturdy, because you're gonna block a lot, so you need it. Then here, just use what you have, preferably impen, if you can. But then again, we block a lot, so we barely get a lot of incoming damage. So critical resistance, you don't really need it a lot when you know when you block. So champion points. When we look into the champion points, There's a lot of good stuff around. You want to make sure to have reduced cost of break free by 19%. And this also works on the no CP campaign. But you might want to have a little bit more cost, like cost reduction instead of weapon damage on your jewelry, or more stamina recovery. Here 19% break free cost reduction is really important. Then we have 49 tenacity. To kind of recover stamina, you do a lot of heavy attacks while your sword and board ultimate is up, because it blocks for you, so you have time to do heavy attack. That's really nice. Then here 41 in befooled. Like you don't necessarily need this. Like if you want more stamina recovery, you could place that into Mooncalf. But if you run revert bash, for example, this really helps reduce the enemy's healing. Dodge roll and shadow ward. Now, wait, where is it? No, yeah, this is fine here. Like, I just put 23 points in shadow ward because it reduces your cost of blocking even further. Then 15 points into blessed because you want to get a little bit more increased healing from vigor. You can put more points into here if you want to, and now here he comes. So 57 mastered arms. We are using dizzying swim as our main damage ability. So you have a lot of increased damage, then more damage on shields and some heavy attack damage. Now the reason why you want so much here is because of tactician. When you use roll dodge to dodge an attack, you set the enemy off balanced, and with that we have enough points here, so you increase your damage on against off balanced enemies by 10%. Those two perks are really strong, and you really want to make sure to have those. 20% in Thaumaturge, 22 here, and 38 mighty. Now here 10 resistance, 14, 52. Also mostly, like you see, this here is very nice. It's only a small heal, but it helps. When you take critical damage, you heal for 323 health. Not a lot, but you get crits a lot, so it will add up, obviously. And yeah, we also have this, like when you bash. That's also nice because you get a little bit health. Then we have 48 dot damage reduction. You will get hit by a lot of dots, so this is very important. 37 here, 37 here. Now we also have the Unchained. When you break free, your next stamina ability used within 5 seconds is reduced by 80%, so that also helps with sustain. Then a little bit in health, like quick recovery to receive more healing. And this, but it doesn't really matter. That's more or less a general setup, but most important it's the Tactician and the Exploiter together with the... where is it? Yeah, this here, like... No, wait. Sorry. Yeah, those two here, like where you get healing. Because you're gonna hit a lot and then, yeah. In terms of skills, volatile armor, you see I haven't leveled up a lot of abilities on this character yet. Because it's on my second account, that's why I also don't have full CP. But on my website you can find the full CP, don't worry. Volatile armor, this gives you more resistance, 5.3k on spell and physical. It also deals small damage to the enemies, and while active the armor returns 560 magic damage to the melee attack. Because it's not a lot, but it's something. Then you have here, increase your healing received by 12% while one of those abilities is active. We have this active, we get more healing. Other passives to mention here, I mean, you have more spell resistance as a Dragonknight, so magical setups. You can't really, like, it helps actually a lot with damage mitigation on top of the shield wall. We also use Take Flight on the back bar, but to that later. Then we have Absorb Magic. This is another heal. You see, also you absorbing up to 7k damage from the next spell projectile cast at you and healing for 16% of your max health. We have a lot of health, 27k, so 16% is a lot. This is really nice. And it also reduces the cost of blocking. and increases the amount of damage you can block, so it makes us more tanky as well. If you don't really want that, you could use, because of the like healing reduction, you could use the Revert Bash here. I don't have it leveled up yet, but you could replace this with this to get a little bit more offensive. Heroic Slash, more ultimate regeneration, also puts minor maim on the enemy, reducing his damage, and it snares them. And it deals damage. Ignite Shield, now gives us major mending. Increase your healing done for 3 seconds. It's not a lot, but it's nice. Then on top of that, like I said before, you get more 5% more weapon damage, you get more like ultimate regen. You want to make sure to use this every 6 seconds, more or less. And it gives us 990 stamina. This is really nice. Vigor is your main healing ability. You see, like when we were fully buffed, it heals for like 16k. If you play in a group, it will be more than enough because there's other group members healing around. So yeah. Shield wall, so you want to use a spell wall which reflects enemy projectiles back to the enemy. This allows you to basically block all attacks at no cost. If it's fully leveled, it is 7 seconds. And trust me, you use this 5 seconds later, after it runs out, you already have it ready again. Forward momentum. Now, if you play alone, use rally. If you play in a small group, use forward momentum, because it gives you major brutality. And when you activate it, you have 6-second immobilization immunity, so you can't get snared. Gap closes on you, that also snare still work, but everything else you can't get snared, can't get rooted and all that kind of stuff. Before I forget it, let's get into the potion after this, whatever. Critical Rush, the further you're away, the more damage it does, so it's our Gap Closer, Reverse Slice, our Execute ability. Next patch this will get even stronger because of the Asylum weapon. Dizzying Swing, our main CC ability and basically spammable damage attack. And Venomous Claw, it's basically the strongest damage over time effect in the game. Really want to have this. And then Take Flight. We only use this when we are on the offensive, because it actually deals quite a lot of damage. So before we go to the gameplay, I am using the Dubious Cameron Throne Drink to get like that stamina recovery. If you feel like you don't need it, you want more max resources, you can use like the health food. But you see, now we have 29.5 and 32.2k. Now we have 30.4 and 27. So we only lose 2k stats on each of those, but we gain quite a lot of recovery, which is nice. But then again, if you perma block, basically, you don't really need stamina recovery, because we all know when you block, your stamina recovery is 0 basically. Potions are very important for this build. I usually recommend using those here. What they do is they give you speed buff, CC immunity and stamina. Now if you're Argonian, you get another 4.7k health, magic and stamina. So that's a really good plus for Argonian. You can also run the tri-stat ones. If you want to get even more tanky, you could also run those here just to get major vitality, but they only have a 15 seconds duration. But if used correctly, you can even heal more. Or you could use those here, health, stamina and CC immunity. I will put the ingredients, how to craft those, all on my website. I definitely recommend testing out all of them, but for me, this one is the winner simply because you have more mobility with the Major Expedition and the CC immunity. Now let's just go check out the gameplay and I can quickly explain, just showcase you. I want you also to pay attention to the ultimate gain, so you can see like how much I actually get the Sword and Board ultimate up. Something very important: if you're outnumbered, don't just stand in the open. You have to try to kite enemies around corners or like around some one of those poles here, just something, so they cannot always damage you. So you actually also have time to recover, especially if you get low. If you get low on health, do a dodge roll. A dodge roll basically lets you avoid most of the attacks enemies do. Until you're actually getting hit again, you will have recovered a lot of health. And you see, I don't perma block all the time. Sometimes I'm releasing when I don't get a lot of damage. I just don't block, so I can also recover stamina through stamina recovery from time to time. When you're attacking, make sure to go for the squishy targets first, so light and medium targets, because they don't have that much health, they're not very tanky, and they're easy killable if there's not like 2-3 enemy healers around the corner. As you can see, like the moment I get a lot of incoming damage again, I really just go in defensive mode. So you just want to make sure that you don't die, keep maybe your ulti up or block, dodge roll, go behind the wall, just something, so you don't get all the damage hits. And they managed to keep dropping me low because there's not really anybody else here, but you see, I just dodge roll when I get low on health, and then till they actually manage to hit me again, I have more than half of my health. So it's really hard to actually die unless you get hit by a lot of undodgeable attacks. There is another player joining the fight, and you can see I get a lot less pressure on me, so I can go more on the offensive, try to find the squishy target and kill it as fast as possible. This Templar tank healer is very tanky, so basically before there was no way I could kill him. He could heal his bodies and I just couldn't put enough pressure, but now he's alone. He doesn't really have a lot, if any, damage abilities except Jesus Beam, and alone he can't really do a lot. I just need to keep pressuring him and hopefully eventually he will run out of stamina. As you can see, the moment he drops low, DC swing, take flight, executioner. He doesn't have time to react to that, he can't heal back up and he's dead. That's it for now. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.